The world remembers John Paul II as the Great Pope, a gifted communicator and powerful evangelizer. He traveled the world meeting millions along the way, but it was a small group of collaborators who worked with him day in and day out. When it comes to John Paul II's spirituality, his former collaborators share details that up until now were unknown to most people.
Every morning he would look at an Atlantis map and choose a country. For that entire day, he would pray for that nation and its people. He called it the geography of prayer.
Monsignor Paolo was only 33 when he started working for John Paul II, but perhaps the person who knew him best was Cardinal Stanislaw Dziwisz. He was Karol Wojtyła's personal secretary for almost 40 years. His latest book, which translates to I Lived with a Saint, describes John Paul II not only as a pope, but above all else as a person. Gianfranco Swiderkowski wrote the book based on the accounts of Cardinal Dziwisz.
What strikes me the most is John Paul II's daily sainthood, meaning he lived his holiness every day under normal circumstances.
And another key point of John Paul II's life and spirituality, both in the good times and the bad, were the sacraments.
He celebrated Mass every day, and even when he was hospitalized and couldn't do it himself, he would ask someone to celebrate Mass with him. The Eucharist was a central part of his life, and it's also important to note that he would also go to confession at least once every 2 weeks. Karol Wojtyła was able to transmit hope to others, and he was able to move people who weren't believers, including those who had distanced themselves from any type of religious entity.
And so, in light of John Paul II's canonization on April 27th, the book attempts to give a human and private perspective of John Paul II, including how he managed to affect the Catholic Church and, in essence, the world.